All right, so the new feature location is out, and it is Machineworld. And what's interesting about Machineworld is that, quite frankly, I gotta be honest with you, it's one of those locations that you don't have to worry too much about. There are some locations like prior ones, like Sinister London and Bar Sinister, where like, man, you gotta really plan for that feature location because it's completely wild and it completely changes the way you play. But Machineworld is one of those locations that doesn't really have to be interacted with all that much. Yes, you can play Scarlet Witch, Rhino, and Storm and just get rid of it. Fine, that's easy. But the other side to this is realistically, there's no card in the game currently that like completely destroys someone's hand that you play. Now you've been thinking, Alex, what about Black Widow? But the problem with Black Widow is that like you put the Widow's Bite into their hand, meaning that you have to play it first, which is, you just don't do that. It's stupid, right? So there's no card that really destroys them. And if you want to like fill their hand with garbage, like with rocks and stuff, you can do that, but like they just don't play those cards. They just ignore those cards, and so they end up being like, oh, right, with this featured location. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the primary decks that I think for Pool 1 and 2 that are going to help you find success in it by pretty much working around Machineworld. Also, I'll note that Machineworld has a 40% chance to appear in your games as a featured location. That's something that a lot of new players might not know. Let's talk about the decks. All right, Pool 1, we're talking about Machineworld Easy Wins, and it's a move variant. So basically the way it works is you essentially use Uatu to determine where the location's gonna be. You wanna know in advance. So first of all, you can play into it in advance, set up tempo there, and ignore it, and force the enemy to play into the location and give you free cards, right? The other side to that is Uatu really helps you plan, and especially when these locations are present, like Uatu is super, super valuable. Realistically though, you want to be able to use Iron Fist to like punch a card into Machineworld without actually playing into it. Therefore, by moving into the location, you don't actually give your opponent any value. Moreover, it's worth noting that Multiple Man, Hulkbuster, and not so much Doctor Strange, but Multiple Man, Hulkbuster, and Heimdall, that's not Heimdall, I can't click on anything tonight. Heimdall will not interact with Machineworld, so basically any card that's moved into the location doesn't actually go into the opponent's hand, so you never actually give them a decent piece to work with. So that is why usually it appears that these move decks are really successful in this location. Remember to play Kraven in like mid, so that when you push things along with Kraven, Kraven gets a lot of buffs alongside the cards that you're playing with. Generally speaking, you don't want to play Kraven into Machineworld. Like, you just don't want to play into Machineworld. And if Machineworld is there, you can play Scarlet Witch, right? Be very wary of like not having Enchantress, especially if you're in Pool 1. If you're in Pool 1, I know you might be baited into putting like other cards in, but realistically, Enchantress is absolutely amazing because what Enchantress allows you to do, it allows you to knock out the Khazars, it allows you to knock out the Blue Marvels and the Onslaughts, which is so important because they can zoo into that location without impacting it either. So having Enchantress so that you can knock out those ongoing units is super valuable, okay? So this is Pool 1, let's talk about Pool 2. All right, so the Pool 2 variation is very similar, but it has some key differences that are important. First of all, with Pool 2, you get access to a couple of really good cards. First is Cloak, a 2/4 that's really high value and high tempo. Excellent card, especially for move, when you consider its utilization with something like Multiple Man. You also have to consider that Vulture is absolutely insane. A 3/8 with one move, beautiful. And when you consider that once you move it once with someone like Iron Fist, and then you basically move it again with someone like Doctor Strange, Vulture is going to single-handedly win a lane. And then what you do is you drop that Heimdall, push everyone over, and it's absolutely golden. I still recommend you run Enchantress because in Pool 2, you're going to be seeing the Dino decks, which are very frequent, and this is going to give you the opportunity to counter those, which I think is super valuable as well. Regardless, I do think that running Chavez is super important in either both the Pool 1 or Pool 2, because you want to make sure that you have Uatu early to understand when Machineworld is coming. That extra kind of ability to draw earlier is super valuable. You want Uatu in your hand, and that's why Chavez is so important. Moreover, it ensures that you get your Multiple Man and your Hulkbuster relatively early, so you can do that combination. Regardless, guys, these clips were recorded live on Twitch TV. I recorded all night. I'm actually losing my voice as I'm talking right now. That's how long we've been live on Twitch. But regardless, I think we have a ton of fun on Twitch TV. I would love to see you there. It is an absolute blast. We have an amazing community. Links in the description and in the comments, guys. I can't wait to see you, and good luck with this featured location. We got Machineworld here. So we're just going to avoid playing into Machineworld, right? That's the plan? We got to be careful here. We kind of got to play multiple man first, because if we pull our Hulkbuster, we get to play on top of multiple man. That's kind of what we want here. I would have liked to have played Angela first, but we won't want to fill the location here. Oh, he gave me... Okay, so yeah, he gives me Daredevil. Like, who actually cares, though? Right? Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure I'm convinced Angela here is enough value with this monster. I think we just tempo Scarlet Witch. But the ongoing effects can be really problematic. So we don't have our Hulkbuster yet. We have turn 5 coming. We probably get rid of Onslaught Citadel. It's a huge risk to us. Onslaught Citadel represents a massive risk. Oh, Fist Tower. It's a good thing it's on the right. Okay, pulls Chavez. Solid play on his part. Snapped on me. It's fine. I'm not too concerned yet. We do this. White Tiger? Really? That's it? Okay. Still 26 power here. We should win here with multiple man Heimdall. They push in. We go. It's close. We don't give him anything for Machineworld. That's the whole plan here. We actually kind of avoid it. Let's see what he plays here. It's Odin. Okay. Okay. Kraven should counter that. And we do win this location here. So we actually dodge mid. There it is. Very clean win, folks. Extremely clean win. It's like perfect. It's perfect. Like, this was absolutely clean. So basically, Machineworld ended up being like really not problematic to us at all. Like, we didn't play into it. They gave us kind of something a little bit, but ultimately, like, we just kind of avoid it by playing a move deck, right? And this guy's playing pool 3 cards, and it's it didn't make a difference. It really didn't, because we just avoided Machineworld. We have Scarlet Witch, we want to get rid of it, but with Heimdall and multiple man and everything, like, we just avoid it, and we just win the game. Easy. We're gonna do Kraven mid here, because he's gonna move right anyway. Lizard. It's high value play into Subterranea, because we're gonna have garbage draws the entire time. We got Machineworld. So we do have Machineworld, which is exactly what we wanted. So what we actually do here is, again, I think we do Hulkbuster here. We can avoid Machineworld, or we can storm it. But if we storm it, we can push with Heimdall. We just gotta wait to see what we draw. So right now, this is we're kind of go time now for the Machineworld play. Again, I think that Machineworld, I know I said this last time, but I think it's one of the lower impact locations for featured locations. Like, I don't think it actually... I don't think it, like, wrecks you or anything like that. I don't think it... Like, there's no cards that really destroy your hand by holding them. This guy's playing Mojo. That's pretty legit, actually. We're gonna have to Enchantress this Mojo. So this is pretty big for us here. Multiple man getting some value here, which is great. And the nice thing is, we get to pull those guys out with Heimdall if we pull them. We do, unfortunately, create a situation where this Mojo... No, what do we do here? I think what we actually do is we do this. We do this, we pull this here. Yeah, because then we can debate him playing right. And, like, I mean, he could try and fill my hands with rocks, and this was kind of like the argument that was made of, like, oh, use Machineworld to screw up someone's hand, but it's like, sure, but really, like, the rocks aren't all that bad. Like, I just don't play them, right? Obviously, Black Widow's different, but, like, you have to play Black Widow into Machineworld. Like, I just lost. So, yeah. So, again, like, we just kind of avoid Machineworld altogether. Now, because this is Mojo, we actually play into Machineworld here. And, of course, he's going to get the Chavez, but we're up by 6. He has to play 7 here. We actually just win. He should retreat. But again, like, this game, very clean. We just avoid Machineworld. I could have stormed it, but knowing that it's on the right side, knowing that I'm playing a Heimdall deck, I could have just pushed guys out of it and debated. He goes mid because he expected me to contest mid. He plays Onslaught. I just ignore him. I win the game. So very clean win, never in question. So, like, that's why I think Machineworld, like, overall, isn't that impactful as a location yet, you can just play around it. With a move deck like this, you just ignore it, and then when you want to play into it, you just take advantage of it, right? Maybe in pool 4 and 5, there'll be like specific cards that really disrupt the opponent's hand, but until then, I mean, Machineworld, like, yeah, he's giving me rocks, but you just ignore it. Honestly, I think that Machineworld's pretty low impact with regards to locations.